Celestial 9211 coming at you with another live video. This video is concerning the Fusion deck. As you've already noticed in my channel, I don't really make it a focus to display profiles. The reason why, um, well, there's two reasons. The first one, the you have the right hand and the left hand. The right hand being what's popular, everyone plays. That's thousands or even millions of Dark Magician players. They've been popping out since somewhere, I would say 2029, October, December, when or early January 2020, when the Magical Hero came out. So the support for Dark Magician. You have the popular, and that's where like 99.9 of people are, hand traps and all that. Then you have the less popular, which is the 1%. So obviously I would be considered in that group, the 1%. So what happens is when decks get hit by Konami, like the Dark Magician or any deck in any format, Master Duel, Speed Duel, TCG, OCG, they generally take away some cards, and they take away their power. And then what's interesting is 99.9% of players don't know how to play Dark Magician anymore. So what they do is they rely on hand traps, a 1-to-1 ratio, and technically they're supposed to win because any deck with hand traps negates a lot. There's a lot of videos of showing decks that have all the hand traps, and it's funny because it's true. Then there's the 1%, which is me. I can walk through all the hand traps like nothing, and I have proof of it. And that's a top tier style. I'm gonna be going into sequences. The deck is saved for another time. I'm gonna do the Fusion deck only this time. So here we go. So the first one would be the Invoked Macabre and the Invoked Guides. So basically what's going on here is you either have Alistair or Magical Meltdown, and what you do is you have two Alistair. So proper sequence, you play Magical Meltdown even though you have an Alistair in your hand, because you want to get another one. You always want to draw cards. Never keep cards in your hand if they're live. Just activate them. So at this point, they will activate an effect to negate. So you just walk through a negation because they did it for no reason. So you burn this card because you already have it in your hand, right? So then after that, you burn his card, and guess what? He won't have any more cards to burn you. If he has a second, you can always play another card going second or third. And if those don't get baited, then guess what? It means you're free now. And then you activate him, and you get the invocation. Then you link. And then when they go to the graveyard, you activate invocation. Then you will special summon the Macabre. And then you already know the ratio of spell to spell, trap to trap, monster to monster for negation. So if you want to negate a monster, discard a monster, so on and so forth. Then at this point, you play all your cards that draw into your deck. Once you're finished doing all that, then at the end phase, then you'll trigger the effect of invocation, send it back to your hand. Back to your deck, and then Alistair comes back to your hand, and it's a revolving loop. So you can play 3 of him and 3 of the other guy. They're gonna come out no matter what he does, because if he negates you, you could redo it again and again and again forever. You're gonna run out of fusions, but you won't run out of the Alistairs because you'll just keep activating the effect. And this is just the sequence. You still have like 30-40 different sequences of your deck. So that is the sequence with that. You should already know him. You could just pop a card on the field when it comes out, but you have to remove a fusion and an Alistar. So that's what it's there for. And then Dragon Knight, he comes out in a lot of different ways. And I'm the only YouTuber, and I've done this for years. This isn't new, where I'm able to special summon um, 3 Dragon Knights with ease onto my field. Um, and to top it all off, I have proof of it. It's not just all talk. I have proof of it. Um, and those are the main ways to summon him. You have a Timaeus, a Secrets, and then it can be chained to an Inmuk or a Wallop, the Swordsman. And I've already showed you the combo. All you need is a Rod and Apprentice, and you have 3 of each, so it happens a lot. You just link Dark Secrets of Dark Magic, and you just, when you bring out Illusion, you get Dark Magician, and that's automatic. I shown you numerous times how I summon him the first turn, and I have a duel where in two turns I summon 2 of them, for the average I summon 3 per duel. So contrary what you're told that Dragon Knight wins the duel, that's a lie. Take it from me. They can't even take a Feather Duster. Go to their channel. They can't even take 2 negations. Go to their channel. I can take 3 negations and I can take a Feather Duster any day. Those cards do not affect me. I have proof. So, what is a better solution for the Dragon Knight then? If I'm saying it's not enough, I should know because I play it more than most of the other people. Because I have proof of it. That's what changes everything. If I didn't have proof, I'd be like them. But since I have proof, I'm not like them. I'm not like anybody else. I have proof of what I'm doing, and that changes the whole game. Because I'm taking Feather Duster, I'm taking all kinds of cards, and they don't affect me. All the hand traps. So the gameplay with him is Alistar. So once you summon the Dragon Knight, you no longer need to go into the invoked engine, because Dragon Knight is now the main engine. So everything that's invoked becomes second place. You can discard it all. It's worthless. The only purpose for it is to boost Dragon Knight so he doesn't leave the field. And you establish what Loza says, the pyramid, which is 1 circle and 1 eternal. This is the true pyramid, not like he was saying that it was Dark Magician, the regular. No, it's Dragon Knight. So when he comes out, the winning ratio, if you can boost the Dragon Knight, believe it or not, it is about 99% win. And you might be like, what about the 1%? Well, they could trigger effects to send cards back to your hand, and since that doesn't destroy them, that will go around the effect of Dragon Knight and Eternal. And then the other one is if they can boost to 6,000, that'll be a problem for you, because we don't play 3 Alistar because of the percentage of card ratios. We only play 2 because we want the deck to be versatile, powerful, and super busted, broken with just drawing a bunch. So for that, the ratios have to be at a certain number. So I only play 2. So you're looking at the Dark Magicians at 5,000, and you don't have to discard them both. You could just discard 1 to go to 4,000, and then you keep going and you remove whatever was a problem. And then the Dark Magicians, I already shown, he can boost past 10,000 attack. I have duels where I showcase it, people attack me with a 3,000-4,000 attack monster, and I just leak my whole hand. I just chain, and sometimes people ask me like, "Oh yeah, that was a one in a million." Nope, I do it all the time. And somebody might have a question like, "What do you mean you do it all the time? That's impossible." No, it's actually very possible. It just showcases and shows how much you suck at Dark Magicians, and it shows how well rounded I am. And it's not tooting my own horn or none of that. It's just facts. Go to my videos. I even did test hands and I showed you I went through negations. I didn't do it like everybody else. And you boost them because you have the Apprentice Illusion plus the Alistar. The Alistar will work on any fusions, and the Apprentice will work on any spellcaster. So this guy becomes your real boss monster. He could go up to 10,000 attack. OTK, man, it's sick. So then, um, the the other cards that you need, this one, two darks. He comes out, copies, and attack. If something happens to him, he blows up all the cards in the field. If he leaves the field, so you need him. You don't summon him always, but it's better to have him because people tell me like, oh, sometimes they set up crazy boards on me and I can't do anything. Well, you play a sequence of your cards to draw a bunch to activate effects, and you try to get rid of what you can. And what's too strong, your deck's full. Your deck is like. Well, let me see. I think the deck it should be 99.9 darks, so you should always have some darks. Um, you just bring him out, you destroy whatever you can, and then you attack to whatever you can, and that's it. And even if something bad happens, he'll trigger his effect and wipe the board. You have Regeki and a lot of other cards to clear the field. And then Phantom Dracosac. So him is for the Dark Magicians. So you just bring the two Dark Magician, and then you XYZ, discard a material, bring two tokens. When there's tokens on the field, this card cannot be destroyed. If you activate the effect of destroying a token to destroy a card on the field, you can attack that turn. But it also triggers the effect of Eternal Encircle, so that's the sequence. If you need them, play them, pop a card. If you don't need them, don't play them. But I always said, it's better to have and not to need than to need and not to have. That's why a lot of people lose. So, Naruto, two level 6 monsters, so you have plenty of them. You have 3 Apprentice, he comes out very easily. You have ways to special summon it from the graveyard and the hand with Veil and Celine. And then you could just discard, so a bunch of them come out. And then the Dark Magician girl is actually does something finally, other than drawing. She comes out on the field, and you XYZ, you get Naruto. People don't like this card, but believe me, it is gonna end up being a staple for a lot of people, especially in Master Duel. If you have a way to negate 3 spells per turn, so I do easily. So I have Macabre, he comes out, and then the right hand, they're very easy to come out. And then Naruto, sometimes the backup. So I can negate the first spell, and then a monster effect, spell trap with Macabre, and then I follow up with Naruto, another Omni negate of a spell or trap per turn. So believe me, he comes in handy. And it's a lot more powerful than the Dragoon, because you have Dragoon's just the one Omni negate. This one's a lot going on. And he's at 27, and you can boost it with Apprentice. So it's dangerous, man. And then you have Celine, Queen. So this one, you link 3 because you need to activate the Circle Eternal effect. And then also you can bring any spellcaster from the graveyard. Usually the targets are either Apprentice to get another Dark Magician or to boost spellcaster monsters, or the other one option would be the Dark Magician's fusions to activate effect to draw, and then you could do the floating effect of bringing a Dark Magician go to the field. Or some people like to play with Taxis Code Talker, that's fine as well. And then you have Crawley. Basically, Crawley is a one of. I know people hate him. A lot of people don't play him. Even some of my friends that I show them Crawley, they don't want to play. And I've seen some of their duels, and that's one of the reasons why they lose, because they take two negations, two, three negations, and then they just end their turn, and that was it. They lose. And Crawley, he's there as an extender. So in the real world of Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to be looking at two to three negations per turn. It's mandatory. If they don't negate you, or you take less than two, three negations per turn, then it probably means you're either going against a cheap rogue deck, which is highly probable, or the other thing that it could be, you're playing against a worthless meta deck, which is like almost all of them. But it is a staple to go through two to three negations per turn. If you do that, then it means you're playing generally like top meta or meta destroyer, and in some cases top tier versions of decks. So that's what I target. I target these more stronger decks. So I activate effect. They activate a card or spell something. They Ash Blossom, so the card stays on the field. Then I'll play, I'll special summon a monster, and then they'll negate the effect. So you got two cards negated. So then what I do is I link to Crawley, and then I draw two cards. And then when I draw the two cards from those two cards, I combine them with my hand, and the deck is already set up to synchronize. So I'll end up drawing a bunch of more cards and linking up to more powerful monsters, or if possible, going into fusions. And then as I'm drawing cards, some of those are powerful, like the skill drains, summon limits, Gozen. Um, and yeah, at that point, I can even go into a Dragon Knight, and it's pretty much over. Sometimes I play two cards on purpose, and my opponent negates them both, and then I'll just go into Well Up, and then I'll activate a card to chain, to draw Soul Servant. I'm sorry, Secrets, and then from Secrets I'll enter Dragon Knight, and that's pretty much game. So no matter what the opponent does, he's screwed. Um, now you have to play two Artemis, the Moon Maiden. Since, like I said, I have them on other decks. I have, you've seen my decks. I have like 7, 8 decks and when I sell, I go down to maybe 2 decks, and then I re get my stock up, and then I get the 6, 7 decks again, and I resell them like that. So right now, the Moon Maidens are in some of the other decks. I don't want to pull them out to make mistakes when I sell them, because I could be robbing people by selling them a deck that doesn't have the card I said it does, so I don't touch those decks. So you need two Artemis, one of them for Alistar, and the other one for what is his name, Rod. Um, you link, and it makes them both live, excellent. And then because I don't want to pull another one, I just added a Wee Witch. It gets you any dark from your graveyard to your hand in any case that any of your dark monsters was destroyed and you weren't able to activate their effect. When she gets destroyed, the fusion or link or XYZ, you can return it back to the fusion and reuse it again. It's pretty sick. Or you can get an apprentice back to your hand, or a rod back to your hand. You can get anything, Magician Souls to your hand. Nightmare Phoenix is there. The proper sequence is to pop a card on the field that's problematic, like Imperial Order. So easy to get rid of it for me. And so many other cards that it's a problem. There's like tier 1 versions of decks. Like there's a zombie, there's a boss generator, there's a DDD, and you need to pop certain cards even through Draco. And you have access to pop 2, but you need one more. This would be it, even against Dark Magician. You do the 2, and then at the very end you link 2, and then you pop a card, then you're free. And you go from there. And then this one, like I said, already developed the Swordsman. So he just says two monsters. He's a dragon, and then you straight enter into Dragon Knight from there. Because people rely too much on Inmuk, but sometimes you don't have the Dark Magician. Sometimes all you have is two monsters. So guess what? You have a lot of ways. Um, I have another format where you have 8 ways to bring Dragonite. Believe me, this one has roughly, I think, 5 ways to bring him out. So, um, so there you go. And that is an example of the fusion, correct sequence, and gameplay. Um, and then I hope you learn from it. I hope you grow. I also wanted to congratulate Magic Calibra. I've seen him grow uh, since the last, I think, year that I met him, and I don't want to embarrass him, but I've seen him do some questionable plays when I barely met him, and currently he's a pretty powerful Dark Magician player. I've seen him improve dramatically. His skills of dueling together with deck building, and yeah, I wanted to congratulate him and for being in my channel from one of the very start. Um, as soon as I hit 50, I'm gonna do a giveaway. He's gonna enter into it. In case you didn't know, he already won some cards. There was about 6 cards that I gave away, but people never responded, so they stayed with me. So I'll post those cards again. So there you go, Dark Magician, uh, proper sequence for the fusions, and then later I'll do the deck and Dark Magic Attack.